New Artist Spotlight Podcast.
Welcome to a new episode of the New Artist Spotlight Podcast. I am Wilko Wilkes.
And it's Big OG, you know, Origin Cross. And we are back again to interview some of the best artists that we can find from around the world. This is the New Artist Spotlight Podcast. Come on now.
And we've got none other than Darren Mason with us today. He's a man who a lot of people might have an obsession with. When they hear his music, they might think, I need you. He's smooth, but he's powerful, like a bear with a big axe. Welcome to the show, mate.
Thank you.
What you looking at? Hold on, you missed the rhyme.
There we go.
That's it. That's good. I should make a song out of all my titles, right? Like, yeah.
We've just done it for you, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, $1 million and $1 million you owe us now.
Let's hope. So nice. Thank you for having me.
Yes, good. Sir. So obviously we're familiar with you here. I'm familiar with you from different groups and things. But for people who aren't as hip to you as we are, give us a little backstory on who you are, the type of music you make, how you got started.
Yeah, well, I'm Darren Mason. It's not a stage name; it's my real name. And I started releasing music really maybe 3 years ago. You know, like lots of people, it seems to be like COVID's inspired them to finally get something out and that. So yeah, I decided to start putting out singles about 3 years ago. I'm 44 and I had a lot of experience in music, but I was a classical player. I studied music, playing the tuba, boom, 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 and doing brass bands and things like this. And that's what I studied music in really, up until I was about, I was doing that in university. Then I kind of ended up working in the city. You finished university with dreams. And yeah, I got a job in the city of London working for a law company. And I kind of got a bit scared actually, like this office life, you know, like just going over. And I thought, no, I need to dedicate myself to music a bit. So I trained as a music teacher, a high school, secondary school music teacher, to try and get back into music. And also, yeah, like it was kind of like the only thing I knew really. I love music. Yeah, and I spent a few years teaching music. I had a little band, tried to start a little band, learning how to songwrite, you know, and doing a bit of production. And then you're in there, you're at home late at night, you know, just making, and then you start singing on it and stuff like that, you know, like DJing onto it. And it started to build from there. And I kind of got a passion for songwriting, really. That's like, I think my number one interest in music. I guess, yeah, I kind of like get a bit driven by fear, really. Like, you know, I didn't want to work in the office, but also to get all this stuff out of me, you know, just to have some outlet on me. But the band split up for a while and I just carried on with my music teaching. It was only when I got to about 40, really, I thought, okay, I've been teaching a long time now. I see some of my students doing really well. And I don't want to be a teacher who just talks like, you could do this, you could do this. Like, if you can do, if you can't teach is kind of a phrase. Like, you know, so really I got into music partly to, you know, express myself, get out some of my feelings, see what I was like as a musician, because I didn't really know, you know, you could have all these skills in music, you know, you could read music or have these experiences, but, you know, I want to see what comes out of me truly. I never really gave myself the opportunity. I guess it's, you could probably call it lack of confidence at the time, really. But somewhere inside me thought, you know, just do it. Just do it for myself.
That mate, it's a similar. Yeah, I love that, man. It has a lot of echoes in my own sort of journey here as well. When I was about 30, I just made that decision, and you make me feel I've got much more time on my side than I thought I had.
Good. Like, you make me feel like I got less time.
No, that's class though, mate. It's better late than never, you know. And
you know what? Yeah, look, the next milestone's 50, isn't it? if I'm getting to 40 and I think I'm not doing this stuff, like, what am I going to wait till I'm 50? Like, that's not going to
exactly,
be.
man.
It's not going to be better, you know. And
I feel like it was always going to come out of you at some point as well. Like you say, it's like getting that confidence, isn't it? And like taking that first leap. But it seems like you've been pretty prolific since then as well. You're releasing tunes, you're mixing it up as well. You've got some different styles on there in a lot of your tracks. Like, it's good, man. It's a bit alternative. Like, what would you say? I know we hate like pigeonholing ourselves, but like, what sort of genre would you say? Who are your influences?
Oh man, my influences. I think my background and like, you know, like, I love all music, man. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I used to like Rage Against the Machine. I used to like The Prodigy when I was growing up. Like, I don't know, like a range of like stuff. I like pop as well, you know, like I like a cheesy song here and there. I like
I can hear it. I reckon there's a bit of Prince in there, and I reckon there's a bit of Seal in there as well.
Yeah, funny enough, I was listening to Seal last night, and they're saying some people say I sound like Seal, but you know, that's okay. Seal's wicked.
Yeah, it's good, man. But there's a touch of everything, and your own man as well. Like, you've got metal bits in there, you've got like really soulful stuff. It's good, man. You mix it up. I like it.
I think at first, I think sometimes that worked as a barrier, like sometimes pigeonhole in, because, you know, you think, I don't know, thinking what you're going to do sometimes was a blocker for me. You know, what am I going to call me? That's why I'm Darren Mason, because I spent years trying to think of a name, you know, like, do you know what I mean? But it just blocks you, you know? And I just remember, I just kind of went into it thinking, I'm just going to do whatever style comes out with me, whether that's some ballads or whether that's a rap piece or a rock piece, you know, maybe even making my own USP, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like, switch it up. But it does make it hard sometimes, you know, because it could be up and down, right? And sometimes you need to do live shows and that, like, you know, there's so many sides. But I'm going to keep exploring these different sides and maybe kind of think about like just doing like package things, maybe like an EP of one sort of style, right? And then the EP of another sort of style, just like Prince. I want to be, I love Prince. He's probably the biggest influence I think I have.
No, that's class, man. Yeah, I'm glad to pick that out then.
I did see him once in the O2 and when he played there. And my God, like when you see these legends, you know, like doing their stuff, but just the way he just picks up a guitar and then he's strutting along with his heels and that, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he's epic.
The singing high, singing low, the guitar, like, I tried to take a lot. I think that's in 2001 or something. I tried to take something from him. But I think my style has been described, you know, when you get reviews and stuff like that, maybe people describe it as art pop. Really, I've heard a few times, like alt pop. I don't know, like some people said R&B, but I don't feel very R&B, you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel smooth.
No,
like.
Well, anyone listening to this is just going to have to go through your back catalogue and decide for themselves. Because
let me know. Like,
Yeah.
So tell us, how long have you been a part of NAS, and how did you initially find the group?
I found the group. I think I've probably been in there like maybe 8 months, 6 to 8 months, not so long. I found the group really just doing research, looking at, you know, what artists and that, just trying to get like a better reach. And I kept on seeing like NAS come up, you know, and a few artists on, through Twitter really, like. I think like someone said on one of these podcasts, the tweets do work. You know what I mean? You start seeing it pop up and that. I didn't really understand it though, you know, at first. Like, what is this going on? And it's quite complicated. And there's so much out there. Yeah, it's hard to know. But I thought I'd just sign up and give it a try. And then, I'm really glad I did, really. Like, that's how I found out about it. And actually, some of the people I'm on shared playlists with, like yourself and that, you know, like is on there. And I see these other people that you're already on playlists with this. So that's what really brought me to NAS.
That's what it's all about, man. Independent artists supporting each other.
Yeah. So, so you said you're in different communities and stuff. Could you give us an honest review, compare, contrast NAS with some other playlists and communities you're in? What do you think is better? What do you think could be better?
I think NAS is good. I love the app. what you got. Do you know what I mean? Like, just submit, you know? It submits and then does all that stuff. Like, you know, like some things when you have to do the screenshots and things like that, like it makes it more admin. Do you know what I mean? A lot of admin. And then also, sometimes people, especially in shared playlists, people maybe get a bit of mistrust, you know? So they're on a trust thing. And, you know, some people say they're going to do things and they don't, you know, and you do. And, you know, so that's kind of, at least with NAS, it's all quite transparent. I like the fact that you've got the different levels you could go to. You could have a different level of commitment. Like, I like it. You got, you know, the moderators, like actually moderating it and, you know, keeping it running smoothly. It's a professional outfit, man. And, you know, you can see that there's so much potential growth in something like that. It's a very clever idea by Ed. And these people have made that really to encapsulate a community and have all these different links. Like, even since on it, I've spoke to so many people, you know, like on it. And yeah, it's a great networking thing. It feels honest and earnest, you know. You know, what can be improved, it's hard, you know, like I'm a humble server. Do you know what I mean? Like, just coming into other, you know, ideas. Improve it. I think it's gone, you can already see the numbers going up. So there's obviously something right. Maybe sometimes you do hear the same artists on some of the shows and things like that. It would be good to hear some of the more fringe artists, I think, if anything. Like, there's
So like the top 20
Got
or something like that.
any suggestions? Sorry, mate, I spoke at the same time. I was going to say, any suggestions of who we should get on the podcast?
Yeah, I'll send them. You know, I try to vote for them in top 20 and things like that. You know, you want to vote for underdogs as well, you know?
Yeah, man.
You know, I believe in the underdog, and there is so many good music, and you get things sometimes, and you want to hear them. Yeah, sometimes you do hear the same artist sometimes on the shows, which is understandable because, you know, you guys work hard and everyone works hard. But that's the music industry, isn't it? Like, you know,
that's it, man.
Miley Cyrus so many times this week. Like, I've heard her loads of times, more than any of you guys out there. I've heard her more, and I didn't even ask for that. So at least with NAS, I don't mind listening to it and cheers. You know, but democracy in action. I like you can vote for other people, and actually there's lots of supporters. People do give you like little messages and give you support, and you know, you give them back. Like, I think I met you, Wilko, right? Like, I love your music, man. You know what I mean? Like, and through NAS, and I think I like messaged you on Instagram just to tell you I love your music, because I love that stuff. It's important, that community, and sometimes people need to know. And like, yeah, so it does boost a lot of people. Like, NAS is cool, man. It's the best streaming community I've ever come across, and there ain't many, actually. I'm surprised there's not more things like this.
Yeah, it must be so difficult to organize though. Like, I don't envy, you know, and it takes so many moving parts, doesn't it, to actually make it successful, rather than just like before. I'm not in any like streaming groups or anything like that now. Before I had NAS, I was in like a few, and it's just like it might work for 2 or 3 days and then it fizzles out. And I don't know, it's amazing what they've managed to achieve really in the last couple of years. Like, but that takes all the moderators, it takes all the people founding it, it takes every member, it takes everybody to do a bit of this and a bit of that, and then we get there together. But it's good, man. Yeah, it gives us all a platform. And it's helped me introduce me to your music as well, and so many others that I've got. You know, I've got Origin Cross songs on my running playlist. We've got this, that, and the other in my library, or loads of great music that I've discovered through this.
And also, on another way, at least it gives you better statistics, you know. Like, I love statistics. I love looking at data, to be honest. Part of the fun of like...
Yeah, so do I, man.
Maybe it's part of my job, you know, like you're telling these students, look at the data, like see what it tells you. But, you know, at least this does boost the data in terms of like your followers and stuff like that. And, you know, there's that element, isn't it, that the more popular you are, that's what people buy into. You've got 0 on yourself, no one's going to listen. So I think it's a good boost for lots of artists, and it's good to see people say like Helena Collides getting on BBC introducing. I'm sure, you know, like that NAS kind of stuff helps. It helps your profile. Yeah.
Yeah, I think with the music industry as a whole, social proof is like a big part of everything. because like you said, a lot of people won't even give you a chance if you don't have something saying, hey, other people care, so you should too, which is potentially a disservice to some of the people, even those that are, moderating from like a higher point, that they're not giving people who may have talent the chance because they don't have, It's like when you graduate from college and they want you to have 7 years of experience for an entry level position. It's like, well, how? What do you expect? You got to start somewhere.
Exactly. I found it early on, like you ask friends sometimes, what's your favorite song of mine? I listen to your music, Darren. Yeah, listen to your music. Yeah, cool. What's your favorite? And like, they pick the one with the most streams. Like wouldn't. It's probably it could either be the only one they listen to, really, or just because that looks popular. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, but that's interesting in itself, like the people's psychology. I like the marketing, and yeah, NAS do it well. Right.
And you said your music. You taught music for a while. You've performed. Said on the tuba and everything. So, are you performing any of your original music live at all?
Yeah, I hate really doing covers. I don't like doing covers. I don't know, maybe it's from doing classical music, which is all covers generally, like old covers. So yeah, I perform my own stuff. I try and get out about once or twice a month. Like I had a gig on Thursday, which was nice. I had one a couple of weeks ago, which actually Eleanor Collides did come. Nick from there came, which was nice. I met another NAS guy, which was really nice. See people in real life. And yeah, I try to play out. Again, I've got loads of different styles to actually the last year and things. Well, there's a combination of things. Like, it's difficult. I've got 2 kids. I've got a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old. I've got a busy job. So it's trying to find the right people to do it, but also trying to learn to play on my own, like playing and singing at the same time. So I do sometimes with bands, sometimes with like people play, and sometimes on my own. I like to mix it up though, to be honest. Just like the music with my performances, I like to try different things as well. But, ultimately though, I like to play at least once a week. And, I like to play in better venues. It'd be good to play in bigger, of course, who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want that? But partly more for, the experience and getting better sound quality at gigs, and to really see what you could do with the better equipment. Maybe it could, maybe you could push you more. The better the equipment you got, the more, I'm going to sing that high note when I can hear myself.
And it's like the bigger the crowd is as well, like the more energy that gives you, I think. And like, yeah, man, you want to be on the biggest stage possible, with the biggest crowd possible.
That's right. Yeah.
See what you can do. Like, yeah, man, you'll get there. Keep going. And the more you keep gigging as well, like the more people get to know your face and get to know you. And you seem like a great guy as well, so people will remember you. No, honestly,
it's nice meeting people. You definitely we obviously lots of us have started putting this from lockdown, but it's nice getting out. Actually, it's nice to get out to see music. More than anything, but you do meet a lot of people, more getting out than being on the internet, and actually more people who actually real fans, maybe, what I mean? Maybe someone who might stick with you, or it's really nice getting out and about. And yeah, that's one of my ambitions, get out and about, at least perform once a week, even if it's an open mic, which in London, luckily, there's loads of places. It's just trying to get out sometimes.
This class, man. So we're going to play one of your tracks today. Are we playing What You're Looking At?
Yeah, the remix.
It's the remix, right? I was going to ask you. You sent through the cover art, and it wasn't the same as the other cover art. So I was like, "What's going on here?" But okay, tell us about it.
Okay, so I had a student, Average J Normal. Yeah, he done a degree. I teach in adult college. And yeah, I asked him to do a remix of this track. I just thought it was right, his style. He's an artist himself, and we try and support each other. But what you're looking at really is just almost the original, and this is really just about feeling like a bad boy. Do you know what I mean? Like you're going out, you're hearing that Saturday Night Fever tune. You just feel, you're walking out, you just feel full of yourself kind of thing. Which, to be honest, sometimes I do. Like,
yeah, you've got to. I mean? You've got to, yeah, of course.
Yeah, you got to sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, and
what was it they called us before Origin? Was it like, what was it? Who called it Hams? Who called us Hams? Was it Ed?
Probably
you and Andres Hams. I think it was.
Yeah, they're going hams. That's it. Like.
Oh, you know that, Dad?
Hard as I don't know.
He wasn't using that one. He wasn't using the Jay-Z Kanye West one. He was using the other one.
Okay, I don't know the other one.
Kind of like a cheese ball other way. Like I don't know.
Okay, ham it up a bit, like. Look, sometimes you've got to walk through the street, though, innit? You got to you got to own yourself.
Enjoy it, mate. Enjoy life, yeah.
Even if it's not real,
sometimes you gotta put it on. Just
just
act like it,
pick up yourself, So that song's really about that, just being bombastic. Even the video for it, I dressed up as a superhero, made a superhero outfit, and I had to go around the local area filming and walking like a superhero. But you know what? Like, someone's got to do it. Like, we've got to be brave in life, haven't we, to push ourselves forward. And and that's what that song's about. And the remix is just a harder version of that, because that's a bit of a rock track. That what you're looking at, a bit of a rock rap track. And then I kind of like this prodigy style as well. So I'm trying to do an album, so I just want to do a few remixes of the tracks to kind of make it a bit longer, a bit more interesting, but also to collaborate with people I want to collaborate with. Yeah, so this is kind of... Oh, sorry.
I was just going to let you know that Wilko only charges £1 million for a feature, so...
Man, that's cheap.
Low price, low price. But there is a sale on, and it is running out on Sunday, so I'm going to have to... you're going to have to commit in the next few days if you want that.
Okay, well, I'll be happy to do something like... Yeah, definitely. I like your style, man. Like, it's a similar... I can still see that vibe, man. Like...
Yeah, man, just send it over PayPal and then send £1 million.
And put it on the chat. Account details. Let's see what I could do.
No, so right. Okay, let's listen to
wait, this one was actually... I did reach out to Charles Connolly to actually master this one. So that was nice as well.
Class, mate. Yeah, that's good.
Someone from NAS as well.
Yeah, he's a very, very good engineer as well. So that sounds amazing. So do you want to do the honours of introducing it?
Okay, this is what you're looking at. This is the Davidge J Normal remix, and it's anything but normal. Roll that track.
No, thank you for letting us listen to that song, man. That is that's dope. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Is that song already out? Is the remix already out? Or is this
no, the remix I'm going to put out in a couple of weeks, the 14th of April. So, yeah.
Exclusive.
Check it out.
Podcast exclusive.
Yeah, exclusive.
Let's go. Right. So you guys both dabble in education. So I know I'm not usually interviewing both of you guys, but I know that just seems like a good conversation you guys could both have some input on. So talk a little bit about that. You guys, Wilko, what you got going on, Darren? How are you guys' experience like educating, especially around music and things like that?
I think, teaching music, I've worked in primary, secondary, sixth forms, and now like adult college. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. I didn't realize when I went into it, actually, I don't know, the network you build of people and you see people like get success through music. I just find it really inspiring, like personally. And I'm actually a bit shocked how the difference of the impact, especially if you're like 10 years later, you see a student, right? And they like tell you a little story from it. Like, I remember you gave me that first drums kit, which you shouldn't have gave me from school I'm working in. But the guy drummed on me in this gig what I had a couple of weeks ago, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm thinking, man, like, I taught you when you're year 8. Now, like, 15 years later, you're drumming for me, like, helping me out, like, yeah. And, it was, he spoke about the kind of importance what it gave him. At the time, you don't really realize, you're just trying to get by, it's Thursday, it's tiring. So but I see you, Wilko, like when I see on Instagram that you're getting in with the youth and things like that. Maybe is that a new thing, and how's it going for you? And
yeah, it's good, man. I enjoy it. Yeah, and the kids get a lot out of it. It's quite hard for me to say though, because I've only been doing it for a year now, and they've been sporadic because I've got a full-time job as well, and I'm doing everything else, and so it's just a bit of a side thing. But I've done about 20 sessions now, rap workshops, and yeah, I don't know. You've made me think there about a long-term impact. I wonder if there's like, I know there's some kids who it's definitely had an impact on me. Some just sort of like can't even be bothered to pretend enjoying it, but you can't win them all. But yeah, no, I'm enjoying it, man, and it's something that I want to do more of. And it just came about people were asking me, or I did a couple for art camp, and then word got around, and there's a lot of kids who like rap, so it's quite an accessible subject for them. And I mean, I couldn't teach music because I don't know anywhere near enough about the actual music theory and stuff like that. So I come at it from more of a sort of literacy, creative writing side. But yeah, I'm enjoying it, man. It's good. And obviously I've got a program called Rap for Good now, which I'm developing at the moment. It's taken up a lot of time, and that should be really good. I'm putting plans into place for all sorts and wanting to give the kids like a really good experience for the year if I can. But yeah, we'll see how it goes, man.
It's good. It's a good thing. I hope that it's just like, something to reflect on. Like, it's later, this stuff is sowing the seeds. Like, I encourage other like music educators to do it. Like, rap's brilliant as well, like for it.
Yeah, you're right, man. I kind of want to sow the seeds and like see if they can just show that it's an option. Like, you don't like anyone can be a rapper if they want to. Like, it's not like it used to be where you needed a record deal or a very specific group of people from Sony to get past you by their A&R through that agent, through this, that, and the other. It's like, but yeah, it's all about enjoying it for me as well. Like, so that's what I want to show them as well. Like, just enjoy it. Don't overthink it. Don't beat yourself up.
That's right. I think that's the message I try to tell myself every day, man. Like, I didn't used to rap until quite late in life, actually. Like, rap was probably one of the last things I got into musically. Like, but
once you go rap, you never go back.
That's right. That's right. It's true, man. Yeah, just do it. Like in my general talk nowadays, like having conversations, bust a little line in and things like that. Like,
yeah, man.
So I've got to say, like, musically, rap is one of the most fun things to do. Like, you know, like you at least that's one of the things you feel like you could get up anywhere and just wherever there's a beat, you could just get up on it. It's really good fun, like rapping and that. I think singing's my favorite thing to do, though. Really, like out of making music, and like singing is the thing what hits you the most there, and. I don't know. You just feel it's more exposing than rap. Rapping is, do you know what I mean? I think it's
totally,
like,
exactly. That's why I do
so much.
I'd love to sing, but yeah, it makes me feel vulnerable, man, and emotional, and like I'm not on top of it. Whereas when I'm rapping, I'm on top of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like it's so much harder for a rapper to convey or have the same amount of impact as a person who can sing and who connects with you. Like out of all the like the showcases and stuff, like I perform that and stuff, it's always like because you have rappers and you have singers there, right? And it's like when somebody goes up there and they can sing and like they can like really, really sing in it and like the audience is into it, like the rappers are just like, I'm not winning. Like, I'm not gonna win. Like, how do I compete with this? Is there something about the voice and singing that the voice and rapping is just so hard to compete with, right?
I think it's like a window to your soul, isn't it? You know, like they say the eyes is a window to the soul, but your voice can't. It's like you can't hide from yourself. You feel everything: nervous, confidence, how much someone believes. I don't know. It gets me. It's addictive, actually. It's addictive, singing more than anything, actually. Like, but it's emotional. It's emotional. Like.
So before we go too far, there is one thing that we need to do. You're not going to like us, but it's the devilish,
dastardly,
evil,
horrific.
NAS Quick Fire 5. Do you know the rules?
I just got to answer these 5 questions.
You've only got 15 seconds maximum to answer each question.
Right, I'm ready.
So question 1, what is your favourite song of all time?
Oh, God. Favorite song of all time. All right, 15 seconds. Man in the Mirror, Michael Jackson.
It's not a bad answer.
That's a banger.
You talked about you liking cheesy songs earlier. So what's one song that you love? One cheesy song that you love?
All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey. That's a tune as well. Oh, God.
You've chosen that one, mate, in fucking March. Oops.
Yeah, your faces. It's not that bad. Like, that's a tune. Like, it's cheesy, but I don't know. It's the best Christmas tune ever.
Good man. Question 3. If you could see any band live, which band would you go and see?
Funny enough, I spoke to this with my friends today. I'd love to see the Prodigy live. Like, I wish I'd seen them in the past live when Keith was alive, but I'd like to see them live. I think that's what I'm going to look to do. Like, and I feel that energy, that 5-star energy, like, yeah.
If you could have the voice of any other artist on the planet, whose voice would you pick?
Prince, man. Prince. Or Stevie Wonder, baby. Stevie Wonder.
I'd take Stevie Wonder over Prince.
Yeah, you try and do. Yeah, you try and cover Stevie Wonder. You learn how much you need to. Sing it. You know, even it sounds simple.
I know somebody that did the same thing.
Okay, question 5 is: if you could spend a day with one other person, or band or artist from New Artist Spotlight playlists, who would you spend the day with?
You know what? I like the vibe of Blindfold Experience. I don't know. There's just something about him what just makes him seem like a nice guy. I can imagine like walking down the road, like, just chatting about music, making a song, and it just be like perfect, I think obviously you Wilko, and the origin, of course, man. But that's just too obvious to say.
I think someone said Blindfold Experience last week, didn't they? I remember we were saying about how he's like calming and soothing.
Yeah, there is something, man. Even like in the pictures, on the covers, and the different styles and that, like,
yeah,
I don't know, like, it's really weird. I just feel safe. I've never met the guy. That's the thing. This is how music speaks.
All right, that's your 15 seconds. No more.
He answered the question. We went somewhere else. I mean,
get a room, man. Get a room.
Look, it's okay to like give love, you know, but look, you know, but not that sort of love, but just like, nice.
So this has been a really, really good talk, man. It's been really nice having you on. Please, before we wrap up, tell everybody where they can find you, how to get in touch with you.
Yeah, you can find me on NAS, New Artist Spotlight, obviously. But my socials, you know, my name is Darren Mason, and I usually go on like Darren Mason at Instagram, or Darren Mason. You can find me on Facebook. Just type in my name. Darren Mason Music is my website. It's actually darrenmasonmusic.com. Yeah, that's my heart.
Yeah, so good to meet you today, and we'll leave it there and we'll say goodbye. And thank you to everybody listening.
Thank you for having me.
Etc. Blah blah blah. Peace out.
Peace out.
New Artist Spotlight Podcast.